Every ancient army that's currently in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 is poised for invasion. They've taken a time portal into the future. We're talking Roman Legionnaires, Knights Templar, the Ottoman Empire, Persians, Mongolians, Saxons, every ancient army. And they're all facing every modern army in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. We're talking Viet Cong. We're talking M1 Abrams. We're talking SWAT teams. We're talking United Nations soldiers, modern US Army soldiers, FBI agents, the whole shebang. Even some Iraqi insurgents over here have come together to fight against the ancient armies. There are 6.5 million ancient soldiers versus a mere 50,000 modern soldiers. Let's see who wins this thing. If you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe with notifications turned on, and comment down below what other Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 videos would you like to see in the future. Let's get into this thing. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Alrighty then, gamers, pressing start right now, and the modern infantry is off. They do, of course, have themselves a few BTR tanks out here as well. Well, I guess they're not really tanks, they're armored personnel carriers, right? We've also got the Abrams over this way, who are already volleying shots off into the masses of the ancient armies out there. I made sure not to give the ancient armies any ranged units because I wanted this to purely be melee versus modern machine guns, something that I feel like every child dreamed about when they were a kid, at least every boy child, most of them, because oh man, I always imagine like, oh, if I was a time traveler, I'd go back in time with like a 50 cal machine gun, and I'd take on the knights, and I'd blast them away, and then I'd be their god. Which would be very, very, very interesting to see. Of course, then you run into the problems of like, oh, what if you run out of ammo, stuff like that. Like if you don't have any way to get back to the modern world, then your resources will be completely destroyed. Like, it'd be fun to go back in time and show them an iPhone, but then the problem is, like, what if the iPhone runs out of juice? And then they think, oh, your witchcraft was all a lie all along! You know, you can't charge it up there. I'm just saying, let's make it like a potato battery. But it's got to be a pretty good potato. I don't know. Either way, modern soldiers are charging straight up this hill, which is already ancient soldier territory. They were quick to scamper on up here and take it, and that's very smart because now the modern soldiers are fighting an uphill battle to take back that high ground. If they do take back the high ground, they could be absolutely devastating to the ancient armies. You know, going up here and being able to fire down at the ancients would be really, really huge. Here's a bunch of Roman legionnaires going up against the modern US Army soldiers here. Modern US Army equipped with M4 machine guns, and these guys are obviously equipped with swords and shields. So a bit of a difference, just a smidge of a difference, and there's some Russian BTRs coming in here as well. They've got the Flechetta machine guns on top, so they'll be able to take out quite a number of ancients as well. I'm not sure if it's firing upwards or not. I can't quite tell. It doesn't look like it's really firing yet, but maybe it will soon. And then over on this end, over here, we've got the insurgent army, and they are currently also fighting Spartans. Yes, sir! Spartan soldiers charging on forward against the insurgents over this way, and they're not even getting close, man. They're not even managing to reach them before they end up getting gunned down. That's some brutality right there. And look at this. Insurgents coming up over the top here, along with some FBI agents, and now they're firing down at the ancient armies here, and that's going to result in a plethora of kills against these guys. That is going to be some all-out brutality right there. which will be very, very cool to see. Look at these modern soldiers interacting with the Roman legionnaires. Oh, yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Really got them. Get them down. Get them down. And look at this. These guys are actually reaching the top here. They're actually getting up there. Nice. Yeah, if they take the mountain, I think they will be in really good shape for the rest of the battle. I think the mountain is the key to this whole thing. The Roman legionnaires actually are stabbing the tanks a little bit. Of course, those tanks have like 30,000 health or something along those lines, so they're going to be a tough nut to crack for sure, but they can technically kill them. The sword and shield boys will be able to kill them, potentially, so that'll be pretty cool. Of course, going further back here, we don't just have Roman legionnaires. We've got other units, too, that I should show you guys. Back here, we've got some Saxons, who are a little glitchy. They're very, like, weird looking. Then here are the Mongolians. I'm excited to see them in the skirmish there as well. A lot of Mongolians on the battlefield. And then the Ottoman Empire right here. The Ottomans coming in hot as well. Let's go check in on the Knights Templar and the Heavy Knights that are over this way. Yeah, here are the Knights Templar moving on in. Deus Volt, brother. Deus Volt against these heretics, these modern-day heretics. And then here are the Heavy Knights as well here. And they should be charging the right flank over this way towards the M1s. Yeah, they're the M1 Abrams, having to deal with a whole lot of Heavy Knights coming in. They're fighting alongside the North Vietnamese here and some of the United Nations soldiers, which is pretty cool. So we'll see how they end up doing overall. Their sporadic shooting is a bit slow, so the Heavy Knights are able to kind of get up to them. But when they do fire, they end up getting like 20 or 30 kills in a row, which is extraordinarily good. The Ancient Army is down to 5.7 million troopers already, so they've been taking heavy losses this entire time. And the modern units are down to 47,000 units. So they've lost about 3,000. The Ancients have lost about 800,000. Bit of a difference, but as these Ancients do slowly surround them, the big problem for the modern soldiers, you can see sort of like these Heavy Knights sort of flanking around the backs there. The modern soldiers might run out of soldiers to actually go and intercept those flanks. That could be a very, very big problem going forward. Because those flanks desperately need to be protected. The same thing's happening over here with the Spartans, is they're just kind of running around the FBI agents and insurgents over here. So if they continue those very, very large sweeping flanks, modern soldiers don't have a very large army. They've got a very powerful army, but it is not very large. And as you can see, the Ancient Army is huge. The Ancient Army is absolutely big, chungus, massive. So it's a very, very big difference right there. So let's go ahead and watch over here. Oh, by the way, the modern soldiers have taken the top of the mountain over this way. Well, most of it. So now they're actually able to fire downward. That's going to be very, very big ultimately. That's a pretty big advantage for them right there. Look at this. Roman legionnaires trying to fit through the cracks, not able to. Oh, the very peak of the mountain, though, is still Roman held. Still Roman held over here. Okay, good for them. Good for them. All right, why don't we time-lapse the top here? I think that'll be kind of cool to see, and we can watch as the modern soldiers slowly take the top, and then we can also see, like, up this way, the Spartans flanking all the way around, so we might see the modern soldier lines thin more and more as the battle goes on. Currently, 5.4 million ancient soldiers left alive, and 46,700 modern soldiers left alive. Well, let's get it. Well, boys, this is very interesting. We've got ourselves modern soldiers up here. They took the peak, but they've moved off the mountain and they are making their way downwards now. They have lost about 13,000 soldiers total now. From their starting 50,000, they're now at 37,000 troopers, which is a little bit dangerous. That's a lot of soldiers lost. However, they've also killed about 3 million enemies. The enemies are at 3.4 million now, from their starting 6.5 milli. So lots of things happening. Now the problem is these Mongolian soldiers and Spartans are starting to actually get to the FBI and insurgents over here big time. I mean, look at this. Every single one of these soldiers that comes in is dying. However, they're probably taking with them a few FBI agents and insurgents with every swing, and then they die, then a new guy takes their place, and it's just continuous. So that's fairly deadly, and they're actually getting swamped here. They're getting surrounded. Look at this pincer movement from the ancient armies there. That's going to cut these guys off and kill all of them. Oh, yikes. So yeah, while, you know, the modern armies are doing a bang-up job here, they're about to be killed. Look at this. Ottoman Empire soldiers in here as well. It is a hodgepodge of all of the different ancient armies coming in and surrounding these guys and actually managing to acquire a lot of kills in the process. Look at this. In real time, we can get them squeezed here, and they're dying. Oh, we've also got some guys holding out up here. That's kind of funny. Oh, geez. Yeah, these guys are about to be donezo here. Absolutely donezo. Holy cow. Wow. Okay. That's a big deal. More over here will be getting trapped very soon as well. Oh, yikes. And then this line is now going to be susceptible to flanking as well because the far right flank ended up falling. Truly, this is a battle of the flanks. If the flanks didn't fall, these guys would be perfectly fine. But because the flanks are starting to fall, they are starting to fall themselves. These guys, it's pretty bad. But the middle ground is still very, very solid. These guys are still doing very okay. So that's a little bit promising. Let's check in on the Abrams over this way. All right, Abrams over here. Even have some BTRs over here, which is funny. These guys are doing just fine. These guys are fighting, what, the Heavy Knights and the Templars still? Yep, yes, sir. There's some Heavy Knights going in over here. Some Templars probably a little farther back, I'm guessing. Yes, sir. There are the Templars. Even some Ottomans over this way. That's kind of funny. But they will probably be flanked over this way. Oh, actually, they're kind of holding right here. They've created these body piles that they are now defending upon. This is actually sick. Look at this. Knights Templar charging Abrams left and right. And the Abrams are literally sitting upon a body pile of their enemies. That is some disrespect right there. That is some downright disrespect. And the flank over here is occurring, but it's happening not as badly as the other side. This isn't as bad as the other side, that's for sure. Although it is pretty chaotic over here with these UN soldiers. They're definitely having a little bit of trouble, but it's not as bad. Not as bad. But I do like this line defense over here is so solid with these Abrams. This is so solid. So even though the flank over here with the insurgents and the FBI agents is getting completely wrecked. I mean, look at this. Look at this. And now they're swarming the back over here, too. Ooh, yeah. I mean, this is rough. Just sounded like a dog right there. Oh, my God. Yeah, this is brutal. This is deadly. So it is going to result in these guys getting cut off and killed, but at least the other side is doing very tremendously well. So why don't we go ahead and watch a time lapse here? And basically, as you start seeing less and less flash points, less muzzle flashes across the map, that's modern soldiers dying on the battlefield. Currently, there's still 2.6 million ancient soldiers and 31,700 modern soldiers. This is coming down to the wire. I think this could go either way at this point, with one side getting a victory or one side getting a complete and utter defeat. It is very balanced at this point, so let's just watch it out. This is going to be cool. Okay, boys, so this area is getting squashed, basically. These guys are dying out big time to the ancient armies. They just need to, like, hang in there, though. If they can wait and delay for long enough that, like, the guys over here manage to continue to get, like, tens of thousands of kills, then the modern army still has a chance here. The modern army has 26,000 troopers left. They are dwindling. Do not get me wrong. This is a hairy situation, but they're killing at an exponential rate still. They're still increasing their kills just by a lot, so much. It might not necessarily be actually exponential, but it is a very, very good rate. I mean, it's just incredible. So the enemy only has 1.87 million troopers left alive. Basically, the modern army needs the guys on the mountain to hold out so that these guys can withstand the Templar attack for long enough, essentially. And I think then we would have a victory. It's going to be very, very, very big problems if these guys die out in an insanely quickly manner here. my English is not very good today, is it? But these guys over here are so promising. They could win it all as long as they don't get like giga flanked, you know? So we got to watch out for that. Let's see how these guys do. All right, I think the modern soldiers might have it. I don't want to jinx it, but they've got 21,000 soldiers left. They've almost completely stopped the Templar charge over here, and now they're just facing down these guys over here, and then there are still soldiers over this way, but we've got a really large pocket of resistance right here that's just spamming out fire and getting an incredible amount of kills on these guys, while BTRs end up holding as well. How much health do Ottomans have? Hold on, let me check. 500. This is my first time ever using the Ottomans in a battle, so kind of interesting. How much do the... Okay, the Saxons only have 125, so the Saxons are pretty weak. The Spartans have 300. The Mongolians have... that's another Ottoman. The Mongolians... That's another Spartan. The Mongolians have 150. Okay, so the Ottomans are actually very powerful compared to everyone else, which is crazy. I think they have the same health as the Heavy Knights, actually. But let's check. The Templars, hold on. No, that's another Ottoman. There we go. Templars have 500 health as well. Okay. And the Heavy Knights, they might all be extinct. They might all be dead. Oh, Roman Legionnaires. I know they have like 200 actually. Yeah. I don't see any more Heavy Knights. I think they might all be dead. But it does seem like the modern soldiers are going to end up winning this thing, but just barely. There's still 1.1 million ancient soldiers left alive. So, I mean, crazy things have happened in the past. But I do strongly believe that the modern soldiers got this. They have 21,000 soldiers versus 1.14 million. Let's let it ride. Oof, well, things could have gone a little better in that time because we have 200,000 ancient soldiers left alive and 3,300 modern soldiers. Most of those are tanks, which is good, but it does seem like the ancients are kind of making a comeback that we didn't want to have happen. It's still very close. It's still, excuse me, hiccups. Oh my goodness. It's still incredibly close. I mean, this is going to take a lot from the ancients still, but at the same time, only 3,000 modern soldiers remaining is quite brutal as well. Oy vey. Very tough stuff, very hard to call who's going to end up taking the W here, but we let it ride, boys. We let it ride. Wow, this is really running down to the wire. 600 modern soldiers versus 19,000 ancient soldiers who are still trickling in. Let's just go ahead and let this run, but I do think it's probably going to be a modern victory now. But wow, really came close. This was really well balanced, if I do say so myself. All right, well, it's been another 20 minutes, and there's 487 modern soldiers now and 11,000 medieval ancient units, but it seems like the ancient units are really trickling in now. So yeah, I think we're at the point where it's kind of like stuck, and they must be stuck somewhere. Oh, there's more modern units over here, which is crazy. Yeah, I really don't know. Oh, there's a huge batch of them up here, and they're all just slowly trickling in over this way. So why don't we nuke these guys, because the modern units obviously won this thing. Skadoosh. Yeah, baby, that's it. It's Jover. Modern units end up dominating the battlefield. Honestly, really, really impressive stuff from the modern units. Very fun. Let me know if you guys want me to do this in the future when we have more modern and ancient units added to the game. I'd be more than happy to, but this was a riveting one. Riveting, I do say. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you did enjoy this thing. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe with notifications on, and comment down below if you'd like to see some more in the future. Either way, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.